Welcome back, everyone, to Squared Circle Speak. It's been a little bit. I promise I'm going to try to make this YouTube channel big again and make more videos based on pro wrestling. Life's just been a little crazy right now. Dealing with a lot personally, but video isn't about that. This is about it's the new year. It's 2026. I know I'm a little late. But it is still the new year, and I figured it's 2026. Why don't I make this video giving you my hot takes, my bold predictions for this year in professional wrestling? I've got about 5 of them here that I think could realistically happen. And again, these are all some of them milder than others, but these are 5 that I feel like realistically could happen. And realistically are things that, you know, could happen. So we're going to jump into this with my first one. This is my most mild take. This is the one that I feel most confident is going to happen. And that is Jacob Fatu wins a world title. Obviously, if you've been keeping up with current professional wrestling in WWE especially, Jacob Fatu made his return to the ring. Well, made his return on SmackDown, costing Cody Rhodes the WWE Championship, allowing Drew McIntyre to become new champion. I think Jacob Fatu is lined up perfectly to win the Rumble, potentially be a main eventer and challenge for one of those world titles, and could have a big run. So this is one that I feel like is like the mildest take, because I think this is one that realistically very well could happen. And so, but I wanted to put on this list. I'm a huge Jacob Fatu fan, and I hope he does become world champion. Him, Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, I think are 3 guys that are all young and all are future world champions. But I think Jacob Fatu can get there first. I think he's really over with the crowd. I think he's really good. And I think he is a future world champion this year. Now, when? Could be Mania, could be SummerSlam, could just be on a random episode of SmackDown. Who knows? All right, the second one that I feel like is the one that is like second as far as hotness on the scale. AJ Styles wrestles for TNA before he retires. AJ Styles came out and said this is his final year in professional wrestling, and that he's going to hang it up. He's scheduled to make an appearance on TNA this week on the first AMC show, and so I just feel like, again, this just like the Jacob Fatu one, this one's probably going to happen. WWE's going to let him wrestle one match for TNA, potentially his final match ever. I could see him going to TNA, maybe wrestling Frankie Kazarian in TNA, another TNA original that's back there. And maybe they bring in the Motor City Machine Guns for a match, but I just feel like, or he takes on Leon Slater or Moose, but I just feel like him going back to TNA makes the most sense, and having a match there on his retirement tour, potentially his last ever match in a TNA ring, would make the most sense. I just feel like that is, I mean, it makes perfect sense to not do it. And so I feel like, again, this is like pretty mild take, but I feel like it's something that is bound to happen. I feel like it should happen, and I want to see it happen. I want to see AJ Styles wrestle in TNA once again. My third one here, this one. So this is one I don't want to happen. This is one that is not something I want to see. But I think at some point in this year, Jake Paul will join his brother and sign with WWE. I feel like he got knocked out in his last boxing match, and so I feel like he might be done boxing. I think he'll be he won't want to fight anymore, and he has to do real fights now. So he's gonna move over, and I think he signs with his brother, signs with Logan, and maybe at SummerSlam they do the Usos versus the Paul brothers. And I just look, I don't want to see it happen. I'm not a fan of him, but Logan's there. If he's not going to fight anymore, it would make sense that he wants to still be a physical, and he can go do that in the WWE. He's actually made appearances before, so it's one of those things that makes sense in my head. I don't Now, again, I am not a fan of Jake Paul. I don't like the guy. But it makes sense for him to come into WWE, sign with his brother, be a tag team, be against him, whatever. And I just think, you know, it makes sense. I hope this is the one. Like, if I'm wrong about any of these, this is the one where I hope I'm wrong. Because Jesus Christ, I don't want to see that happen. But again, it makes sense. He comes in. Maybe after this Vision stuff's over, he joins Logan Paul in a tag team, or he does his own thing, or who knows. I'm gonna fly through these. I'm not the greatest at doing these long form videos, so I'm gonna try to make this short. Number 4, WWE announces they have bought another company. As we know, last year WWE announced that they had purchased AAA and now fully running that company. I feel like it could be a Japanese company. I feel like it could be All Japan or one of those other smaller New Japanese companies. Could be some other big time, independent company out there. But I just feel like WWE is going to announce a Japanese or another company that they have bought to join the ranks of AAA, to join the ranks of WWE, so they can start their global expansion like they want to do. I just feel like they do a lot with WWE companies over there in Japan, and I just feel like it should be something. So they do a lot of stuff in Japan too. Like they do shows sometimes in Japan. And they have like a WWE Japan like website and Twitter and all that. So they do a lot in Japan. I think it could be Noah would be the one that I think they go after. Pro Wrestling Noah is the one where they work with a lot, and so if they do Noah, they could do Noah. But we'll see. That may not happen, but I think like WWE's in this global expansion right now, especially with TKO backing them. They got all this money, and so I feel like they could make some moves. And this final one, number 5, is one that I don't know is going to happen. But realistically, with all the moves that are being made and everything being talked about, it could. We've seen this happen with other companies. Number 5 is AEW moves to a new home. We have TNA moving to AMC. We've had WWE jump to in Netflix, and with the whole Warner, Paramount, Netflix, Paramount debacle up in the air right now, I just don't know if it's going to be a viable option to stay on TNT TBS, especially with them expanding they got rid of basketball, but they're expanding their sports with baseball and hockey, and they show college basketball now. And I don't know if the market's going to stay there for them to continue on Warner. And if not, then, do they have to go somewhere else? Do they try to find a new home? Where that new home would be, I have no idea. If they go streaming with, maybe they get on Prime, or they get on some other streaming service, or they go to another channel, another cable channel. Like they go to MTV, they go to, Fox. I don't know. But it would be interesting if this happens. I don't see it. I honestly don't know if this is going to happen, just because people have been calling for this every year of their existence. And I'm not an AEW hater. I will sit here and say that I'm not the biggest fan of AEW, but I'm also don't want to see them fail. And I want to see them succeed. And they've succeeded far farther than I think a lot of people gave them credit for. And I don't want to see them move from the homes. I don't want to see them have to go to a new streaming service or anything like that. I just don't know if that partnership's working out on their behalf. TNT, TBS don't really promote them too much. And then with the whole, like I said, with the whole Time Warner Discovery sale to Netflix being up in the air and potentially Paramount coming in, or potentially this or this, I just don't know if any of that's going to happen. Could they move to Paramount? They could. They could move to Paramount Plus and be on CBS. They could move to Hulu, or there's plenty of streaming services out there that they could go to, or they could start their own. But I don't know. They've got money and they've got time and they've got the resources to do it. So I just don't know if that's going to happen. But again, it's just something that could happen that I've been thinking about this past couple weeks with this rights deal stuff going down and how it will affect the AEW. And I just don't know if it's going to. But those are my hot takes. If you have any hot takes or bold predictions for this year 2026, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. If you have a video idea, anything you want me to talk about in the world of professional wrestling, it could be championship review, championship history, pay-per-view reviews, anything, rebooking stuff. I'll do my best on that. Anything you want me to do in the world of professional wrestling, leave it down in the comments and I will do them, because I want this to be a fan-focused wrestling channel. I don't want it to be just about me. I want to do what you guys want me to do. So please hit me up in those comment sections. Let me know what you want to see here on this channel. And if you're into gaming, you can go check out my other channel, Sabri ENT. I'm doing a Wheel of Random Retro Review series right now where I spin a wheel and play a random game, and it's pretty fun. I'm going to be starting potentially doing old school wrestling games as well on there. So if you're into that, if not, it's cool. But go check that out if you want. As always, I am Ryan. This has been Squared Circle Speak, and I will see you in the next one, whenever that may be. Peace out. Enjoy wrestling. Watch wrestling. Love wrestling. Talk about wrestling. In the comments, let's get a thread going. Tell me your favorite wrestler. Let's get it.